Good morning, podcast listeners. You are watching Going On Daily. I'm your host, Becky, and I am here with our Captain Ron. Good morning.
How are you?
You know what? I don't have a sinus infection, so I'm pretty good in that
That
sense.
is good. That's a good way to start.
Yes, that's right. 2 weeks of that. I'm over it. So I'm breathing clear. I feel good. My headache's gone. Life is good.
That is great.
Yes.
Hopefully, my stories won't ruin your day.
Oh, is this a downer episode, Ron? I don't know if this is a
It's going to
downer
start off
episode.
that way.
Oh, my gosh. Well, before we get into it, let's tell the people where they can come find us. YouTube. You can absolutely come watch us on YouTube at Rhode Island Broadcasting. You make sure you subscribe also to that so that you get updates on it. You know exactly when we're on. You can come check us out on Facebook, where I like to watch the show at RI Broadcasting or simply type in Rhode Island Broadcasting. Don't forget to support the show with stars. I
I
see.
fixed it.
We fixed it. That's right. Now I know. And finally, come to Twitch. Well, not finally. We're on every social media platform, but come to Twitch, RI_broadcasting, where you can send the show bits. And then, of course, Patreon, RI Broadcasting. That's where you can help support the show. You can get yourself some swag, something with our logo on it, stickers, mugs, pens. Just help keep the show going. So, on that note, why don't you lead us into our top story of the day? Something that's apparently going to ruin my day, a church allegation. Ugh, church allegations? Come on.
Yeah. This is kind of actually disturbing, to be honest with you.
Oh, good. I love starting my morning with disturbing. Hugo's here. You're about to have your morning ruined, Hugo.
Yeah, this is going to be a rough one because when I first saw this story, I just thought it was a money grab,
Hmm.
and the more I read into it, the more it is ugly.
Hmm. Great.
So it started off as well, Yankee Hall of Famer Mariano Rivera and his wife Clara
Okay.
belonged to a church, Refugio de Esperanza.
Okay.
Okay,
Hmm.
and um his wife Clara is the lead, oh my god, I was going to say prosecutor, but it's um pasture, whatever, the pasture. Oh my god, why did I just go blank all of a sudden?
Pastor?
Pastor.
I'm like, have you ever been to a church,
He's the
Ron?
senior
Because
pastor.
she is. Okay. Interesting. At this church.
So so somebody recently just filed compensatory, I can't speak today, whoa, compensatory and punitive damages
Oh,
seeking
no.
against them and the church. She was sexually assaulted on multiple occasions, is what she's claiming.
Oh my God. Well, that seems to be a common theme in some of these churches, unfortunately. Not saying that
Yeah,
it's right by any means.
one of the assaults occur. Oh my god, happened.
You listen, you get yourself to that kitchen, you grab yourself a shot of something strong.
Yeah, no kidding, huh? So one of
Hugo
the
can't
assaults
type
happened
today.
at a
Ron
church
can't talk today.
function at their house,
Oh
at their
no.
residence in New
Oh
York.
no.
So the defendant wasn't named, and neither was the plaintiff.
Oh, okay.
But she is saying that the church did not keep her safe, and and it went as far as them intimidating her not to say anything.
Oh no. Okay.
This
I
is
was
when
gonna
I
say,
started to raise the questions. This might
right.
not be such a money grab.
At
Um,
first I was gonna say, is it their job to keep her safe? Yes, it's a church. The house of God is a safe place. However, you cannot control everyone at all times and their behavior.
no.
And is
No,
that
you can't. But here's the problems.
yes, they
So
did it.
this is what I gathered through the timeline of things. So the
Mm,
plaintiff um, was required to go to serve an internship in Florida. Now they're in New York. She was required
mhm, mhm.
to serve, the internship in Florida without parental supervision.
This is a minor.
She was 11 at the time.
I have a 12-year-old. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Now, to do something like that on a weekend, I can understand it, but not out of state. Because doesn't that cross some lines on boundaries? And it is now what
Uh, I
P.
don't
Diddy
like,
is
let's
getting, right?
yes, let's put it this way, like, if somebody says that someone hurt them, sexually assaulted, whatever, and to deal with it, you make her go unsupervised out of state.
Yeah, well, they didn't know of what was happening at that time.
Oh, I thought her
Apparently, according to the
punishment.
timeline, it wasn't
Okay.
happening before she went.
Okay. I thought this was her punishment for talking.
No. So she went, and the parents let her go to Florida for the summertime, mind you.
Why did her parents do that? You have to think as a parent, what are you
For the
doing?
summer, the entire summer.
Oh my God. We're just 11 years old. So
Right.
sixth
Should
grade
not
on her
happen.
own. Sixth
Should
grade
not happen.
on her own. Okay.
So, through talking very few times that she was able to talk to her mom, I guess the mom called Clara and Mariano Rivera to look into, because it didn't seem right.
Hmm.
So she said there was an issue. So they went down there, and all it turned out to be was them intimidating her and getting her not to say anything.
An 11-year-old is probably pretty easy to break, because they're vulnerable, they're scared, they're
Absolutely.
away from their parents, they're impressionable.
Absolutely.
Wow. Wow.
Um, Also, just to make things worse, that
How could it?
this
How could it get
church,
worse?
so the facility was the um Igate Life Church,
Okay.
and at that center that they do all these, you know, services and and retreats. They had three people in the past that were accused of sexual assault. In fact, one of them went to jail for 5 years.
Oh
One of them
my
is
God.
serving probation, and the other one, I guess, was just let go.
Is there no child welfare check or like family sector check or like vulnerability sector check? Like, do none of these things happen
You
down
would
in the
think that.
States?
So this is a
Oh
place
my
that isn't
gosh.
safe for kids. So
Right.
they returned to New York, and um, the family, the plaintiff and her family, still worshipped at the church,
Oh my
knowing that
gosh.
all this is going on, right?
Yeah. Wow. This is a parenting issue.
Now
Like,
that's where it becomes apparent. At this point, it is a parent issue because
yeah,
they did not learn from going to Florida when, you know, the person that is the defendant assaulted her there,
right.
also from New York.
That's not right.
From what they saying, it at the time it was an underage teen, so 13 to 17, I'm guessing,
Mhm.
that assaulted her. It was a female.
Mhm.
So what do the Riveras do? They
They
hold a
hold.
barbecue for the
Oh, well,
church.
naturally. Naturally.
They hold a barbecue for the church.
Mhm.
This is like a month after they come back. Or probably, I would say probably September, probably ready to go to school, kind of thing. Well, they hold the barbecue, and none of the parents were invited. And guess who's there? The defendant and the plaintiff.
Wow.
And she gets assaulted again.
What is happening?
Yep. Gets assaulted again. And so another issue here
Wow.
now is now they know that this is happening
Like, the same person
and they put
assaulted
them
her?
together anyway.
Like,
That's that's
that is some
terrible.
arrogance on the defendant's part to
Yeah.
already do all these things, already have allegations, and then to do it again whilst the parents are around, the pastors are around, the
No, the
church
parents
leadership
weren't
is around.
invited. They were not invited.
Oh, and how did the 11-year-old get there? The
Get
parents dropped
dropped
her
off, I
off?
guess.
Okay, I'm saying this. The parents, like, if you're listening, I hope you are. You're terrible parents. You're bad. You have to protect your children. You need to know better. Guess where my 12 and 14-year-old go? Where somewhere that I've approved with people that I trust, and it's not with grown ass men. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah,
No,
no, it's
that's mad.
look,
I'm angry.
it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad, but you know, it does get worse.
Ron, it can't.
So a month later, the plaintiff was sexually abused by an adult youth leader after grooming her and exhibiting the behaviors that he was going to do it. Um, so this happened at the refugios owned or operated
Hmm.
places of business. So they are liable. And it like you said before, the arrogance. I mean, the
Yes.
arrogance of the Riveras to
Yes.
knowingly being aware of this issue and then it's still continuing. Look,
Right.
11-year-olds should never be unsupervised. You know,
No.
it just shouldn't happen. And to
Maybe
go
with
to these
family.
places,
Yeah.
it's really irresponsible on everybody's part. Everybody's part. Like,
Well,
after the second time at the barbecue when she got sexually assaulted, and that's all, not maybe the second time, but the second incident of the place. You know,
yes.
how do you let her go back there unsupervised? And how dare the Riveras not allow parents at these functions?
Right. Well, I mean, that should be everyone's first red flag. Hey guys, we're having a whatever, a shindig for your 11-year-old. No, you can't come. I don't know. Like I've grown up in church. I've been my whole life. I can honestly say I have never had an experience like this in church. Thank the Lord for that. But like
Yeah,
it's just all about where I've gone in the past, it's all about openness and honesty and like making sure things are appropriate. If you want to work in Sunday school, including my daughter, my 14-year-old works in Sunday school in the nursery with little guys. She had to get like a wellness check and everything to make sure that she wasn't a creep.
yeah.
So I
Yeah,
don't understand.
it's bad out there. There are predators everywhere.
Everywhere, literally.
And if
That's
you think
upsetting.
it's not happening in your area, then you are sadly mistaken.
Mm,
I know when I was a kid,
mhm.
my mom was going to send me to Cub Scouts. It's like the younger version of Boy Scouts. And well, I ended up not going because I
Mm,
didn't want to go. I wanted to be, you know, home, and
right.
playing outside with all the people from the neighborhood,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
was much more fun than having to wear a stupid uniform, which is what
Yeah, of
I
course.
hated to do. I didn't want
Yeah,
to wear the uniform. So that's
that's fair.
why I didn't want to go. And so I ended up not going. And then a couple of years later, busted for molesting, the
Oh
Cub
my
Scouts and Boy
gosh.
Scouts.
Oh
So
my gosh.
I got lucky. I didn't have to go. I got
Mhm.
lucky. There weren't
Mhm.
a whole lot of lucky people, and
Yeah.
it happens in all kinds of things. It doesn't matter where.
Right. Yeah, literally. My ninth grade, well, I went to actually the same school my kids go to now. I went there in junior high for grade 7. I left for grade 8. I came back for grade 9. The gym teacher was this young guy, and everyone would always joke and say, Smith, like his name was Mr. Smith. Smith has a crush on this girl. Smith has a crush on this girl. But like, it was the late 90s, early 2000s. We obviously knew that that was not the case, or at least so we thought. And
Yeah.
I always wondered why he like never gave me any attention. I was on his sports team, I was on his basketball team, I was on his volleyball team. I never got any positive attention from this guy. Whatever. After I graduated a couple years later, it came to light that he had been raping children. And he was only 30, probably. Not saying that that makes a difference, but it wasn't like he was some really old
Yeah.
man. He was young. So these girls were not, you know, a huge age gap, but still, he's a teacher. Or maybe he was 25. I think he was 25. There was a very close age gap. Um, but yeah, raping girls, making videos of it, selling it, distributing it. He ended up hanging himself in his basement. And like, I was mad when he did that.
Yeah. Well, once you get caught, there's so much
Yeah.
involved. You're
Well, your
better off
career's
hanging yourself.
gone, your life's gone. Good luck
Yeah.
to ever having a relationship again. It's like you're kind of better off dead. Ooh, I hate to say
Hugo
that.
Hugo said there's a pastor here in town that has been accused by a couple
No.
of people I know and is about to be perma banned from my restaurant. So,
Well, yeah. Gross.
look, it's something that you have to pay attention to. I know I worked for the YMCA for like, I don't know, 12 years
Right.
working with the after school program, and I've had several times where I had to protect kids
Mhm.
from predators, including, one girl that used to go there. She was in middle school.
Mhm.
Parents couldn't afford it. So she started walking home from school instead of getting picked up by the YMCA.
Mm.
And she came running into the building one day screaming that some guy is hitting on her and following her down the street. So she
Oh
ran
my
to the
gosh.
YMCA where I was, and she came
No.
in pleading for help. And I ran after the guy, chased him down the street in his
Oh
car.
my gosh.
But at least, it was a safe place that she knew she could go.
Yeah.
But not every kid has that option,
No, certainly not. And
you
you know what
know?
you feel like as a kid? I know my kids feel very safe at church and at youth group and things like that. Can you
Yeah,
imagine if that safety was stolen from them? That
yeah,
it would literally change your whole perspective of church and God and adults and your faith and everything because of the actions of one person.
yeah.
It's not right. It's not right. Oh,
No,
my
it's
heart
not.
goes out to this little girl.
It's appalling, and an
It
11-year-old
is.
should never go through that. No one at
Never.
any
No one
age should
should.
go through that.
Agreed. Yeah.
So,
Heartbreak.
I don't know what you need to do. Look, when I worked at the Y, it was an open door policy for parents
Mhm.
because all I did was try to protect them.
Yes.
And, I'm always suspicious of people.
Yeah, of course.
So I watch everybody and make sure, nothing is
Mhm.
going wrong. And
Mhm.
when the parents, first of all, if you go somewhere and parents are not allowed to go, red flag,
Red flag. Red flag.
red
Yes.
flag.
100%.
And I always made sure parents knew you can stop by anytime, whatever you can you can stop by. Of course,
Yeah.
those parents have to be, under supervision as well,
Yeah.
because I don't just trust every parent.
Yes.
But,
Also true.
they can come in, they can see their kid and stuff like that, but they can't
Mhm.
interact with the other kids. we can pull the kid out of their whatever their activity is, and then you can see their kid.
Yeah,
But I would walk them to where they are, so that way they can see them
of
interacting
course.
in the room.
And so it should be.
Yeah, yeah. So I
Oh,
don't know. It was disturbing story,
disturbing.
and Rivera is a Hall of Famer, and
I hope that's stripped from
not
him.
good, not
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Well, way to
You know,
ruin everyone's morning, Ron.
yeah, I don't know, but let's move it on.
How can we move on after that? Yes, we have to. We took double the time on that one. I mean, and rightfully so. This little
Yeah.
girl deserves all of the attention, all of the, positive thinking, like everything kind this child deserves. I hope she was taken out of her parents' care also.
Yeah, that was just inexcusable. You don't
Yeah,
keep
inexcusable.
sending her.
100%. Okay, well, let's go somewhere that I think that you will really like. Stuff about Prince. Now, I think Prince is a total creep. I do not like him. I don't like his
I
music.
I think he's awesome.
I know you do. I've heard you say it multiple times. I've seen you wear your shirt. I think you have a couple shirts too, or is it just the one? Anyway, I'm not a Prince fan, but I saw this article and I thought this is right up Ron's alley. So I'll wait till the next time him and I do a show together.
There we
So
go.
these are hit songs that you didn't know Prince wrote.
I know.
You know. Okay. I'm not gonna do all of them because not all of them are, super famous or maybe not everyone will know them, whatever. Manic Monday by the Bangles was written by Prince. That's
Yep.
a terrible song, by the way, but
Uh,
it was
yeah, it
famous,
wasn't so
so
great.
it's not my jam. Uh, I Feel for You, Shaka Khan.
I know that one too.
Okay, interesting.
That's a
Again, not
great
my
song.
taste.
I love that song.
Becky Disrespectful. Kenny,
Oh,
please
Kenny's
be
here.
here to defend yourself, okay? You didn't write these songs, Prince wrote these songs, okay? This is a good one. I
Yeah.
will say this one. Nothing Compares to You, Sinead
Oh,
O'Connor,
absolutely.
one of the best
Sinead
songs
O'Connor did that
ever.
song perfectly.
Beautifully. Everything about her, even her look, everything about
Yeah,
her was like perfection.
yeah.
Yes.
It is beautifully sung by her. She has a
Yeah.
great voice, and it's so
She really
soothing
does.
too.
Yep, she really does. This one I actually don't know it, but maybe you do. When You Were Mine by Cyndi Lauper.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. It wasn't a big hit. It
It's from
wasn't a big hit.
1983, so
Yeah,
it predates me a little bit.
little bit.
Stand Back by Stevie Nicks.
I
It
remember
actually
that one
reached
too.
number 5 on the 1983 Billboard Hot 100,
Yeah,
so that
I
was
used to
good.
like that song. That's the song that I started calling her the Lamb Lady.
The Landlady.
Stand back, stand back.
That's funny. I love that. Hilarious. I would never think that. I thought maybe
I
she,
do
like,
love
wore
Stevie
something
Nicks
funny.
though.
I do too.
I
I
make
really do.
fun, but I
Her
think
voice
she's
is so cool.
spectacular.
Fun fact about Stevie Nicks, she had asked to join Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers multiple times,
Yeah,
and he said no because he didn't want women in the group.
yeah, that is true.
But man, their
I
duets,
think they had a thing too.
they
But
had to
Stevie Nicks
have.
had a thing with a lot of people.
I mean, if you were a rock star, wouldn't
you know,
you? Yeah. All
Stevie
right, this
Nicks was a
song,
good-looking person too.
yeah, she's beautiful. So this song again, I should Canadian legend with this tear by Celine Dion. A
yeah,
song from '92. It
yeah,
was probably terrible if Celine Dion did it.
yeah. I don't like Celine Dion, so
No.
not a fan.
Love Song by Madonna from
Ah,
1989.
I vaguely remember it. Again, it's not one of their top songs,
No.
so you know. eh.
So clearly there was a better writer out there than Prince. If these are not
Oh, I'm
top
not
hits.
saying Prince was a great writer. I think he's a great musician.
Like
I mean, he played every instrument.
I'm looking at this picture you have here of him, and all I can see is Jafar from Aladdin. Like that long face, that little goatee, the eyeliner. Like, I think that's who they drew it
Yeah, yeah.
after.
Prince has been, he's. I think that's why people think negative of Prince
He's creepy.
is it's because his persona,
Mhm.
you know, I mean, it's very sexual,
Mhm.
but then you look at him, you're like, is he gay?
Yeah. Well, he's probably all of the
But
above.
but he's always with these beautiful women, and I know it could be just a front or whatever, but that I think is what gives him that creepy persona.
For
Is
sure.
because he looks like he should be gay, but he's always with these women, so it's like
Right.
everything is questionable, right?
Right. I do think that rock stars get into this very gray, open-minded area. Look at David Bowie, look at Freddie Mercury, look at probably Mick Jagger, like anyone who's a front man probably ends up doing a bunch of drugs
Steven
and
Tyler, David Lee Roth. I mean, you look
yeah,
at
like
all
I'm
of them.
sure all of them have experimented in their day. It's kind of the rock star lifestyle.
I
Ron,
guess.
please stop teaching Becky how to be disrespectful. Can we block this guy? Just kidding. Okay, we'll get back to this. I'll try not to disrespect anymore. I've gone through a few different ones here. Get It Up by TLC. Like some of these I just don't know. The Glamorous Life by Sheila E.
Sheila
So it looks like
E.
we're getting into the 90s at this point. This one, there's not a lot
She,
of
I
men on
think,
this
even
list.
wrote stuff for Sheena Easton too.
I think there was one from here on Sheena Easton. Let me go back here. Stevie Nicks, Cyndi Lauper, more Sinead O'Connor. Shaka Khan. Yep,
Notice how it's all women.
Sugar Walls by Sheena Easton.
Yes, I knew
I
there
went
was
past
one. I
that.
remember that song.
Interesting. Okay, this one, a man. You're My Love by Kenny Rogers.
Really,
Love
that
Kenny
I did
Rogers.
not
Yeah,
know
yeah,
that he wrote for Kenny Rogers.
yeah. Here's another man from 1990, Round and Round by Tevin Campbell.
Yeah, young
Uh,
star, right?
this is a singer that I do not care for, Kate Bush. That song
Yeah,
that just made a resurgence from Stranger Things, terrible. Anyway, the song is Why Should I Love You by Kate Bush. He wrote that for her.
yeah. I don't like her.
Yeah, and I'll do one more here, just a random one from my list here. Maybe you know it. Yo Mister by Patti LaBelle.
Oh my god,
So
I
tons of
dislike
songs for
Patti
other
LaBelle
people.
so much.
Yeah, so I can honestly say that of all these songs, there's not one that I like. However, it doesn't mean he's not a great
Oh, nothing
songwriter.
compares to
It's not.
you.
Oh, right, I forgot about that one. Okay, there's one song I like from this entire list. However, he was a very talented star.
Yeah,
People looked up to him. Obviously, to have a Prince song that you're singing, it was probably a huge deal. So,
yeah,
I mean, more power to them.
yeah. I mean, I look at it this way. He did do things his way.
Hmm.
The whole symbol thing was because of record companies,
Hmm.
and so I don't blame him for the things that he's done. I
Hmm.
certainly respect him for the way he's been determined to have control of his own music,
Right.
and he's different.
He's very different. You're right. You're right. But anyway, maybe one day I'll like the odd song comes on and I'm like, okay, like Little Red Corvette came on the other day and I was like jamming out and then I'm like, what are you doing? You hate Prince. And I'm like,
Exactly.
turn
See,
this
you
off.
can't help it. You can't
But
help it.
as my husband says, I'm an A side fan of
I
most
used to
music.
hate Purple Rain. I used to hate it.
Purple rain,
Now I think it's
purple
one of the
rain.
greatest songs ever.
Okay, it's catchy. I'll give you that.
And it
It's
was the best
catchy.
performance at a Super Bowl. And I don't plan on
Mm,
on watching the halftime show with that.
who is it?
Oh, I can't even think of his name. My brain is like
No one important. I'm gonna look it up while we're
Lamar,
doing this
whatever
here.
his name is.
Lamar?
Yeah,
Kendrick?
Yeah, Kendrick
Oh
Lamar.
yeah, eh, not my
Yeah,
jam.
I don't like any songs he does. I don't like
Right.
any of 'em.
Sit down, be humble. That's the only song I know, but I don't like it. All right, let's get moving on here. This day in history, we are
Yeah, this is a good one. There's a
January
lot that's
30th.
happened. I'll
Let me
brush through it as
my
fast as I
calendar.
can.
Okay.
Um, but it's been an eventful day. 1815, the burned Library of Congress was reestablished with Thomas Jefferson's 6,500 volumes.
Oh wow.
Not bad.
I want to see what my
Um,
calendar says today too. One moment, let me grab it. There we go.
yeah, I was expecting that you
Hmm.
had the. So read off
Mhm.
that one.
Mahatma Gandhi is assassinated in New Delhi, India in 1948.
Yeah, yeah, that's a
Yeah,
big one. That's a
that's a
big
big
one.
one. Yeah.
Also, a big one is President Paul von Hindenburg appoints Adolf Hitler as Reich Chancellor of Germany, who forms a government with Franz von Papen.
Interesting.
So that was a big one. And then 6 years later, in 1939, Hitler threatens Jews during his speech to the German Reichstag, which is parliament.
Mhm.
So it took him 6 years to get to it.
Wow.
Oh, this is remember the song by U2, Sunday Bloody Sunday?
Yeah.
Well, that was about this event in 1972, Bloody Sunday, when 27
What,
unarmed
Cambodia?
civilians were shot, 14 were killed by the British Army during a civil rights march in Derry, Northern Ireland during the
Oh,
Troubles.
why did I
That's
think
what
that
the
was
song was
Asia?
about.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. 300,000 people said they are going to boycott the Super Bowl.
Good.
Good.
It should be
Good.
500,000 people, a
Well,
million people.
300,001.
Yeah, and two. Yeah.
Two. See? There we go. Um 1969, and I watched that special. Oh my god, what a great special. The Beatles performed their last live gig
Wow.
in 42-minute concert on the rooftop of the
Oh,
Apple
that
Corps
one.
headquarters.
Love that.
That special was absolutely phenomenal, made me dislike George Harrison.
Really, I love George Harrison, but I
Yeah,
don't
but I
know.
think he's the reason why they really broke up.
Not Yoko. She's been smear campaigned all this
It is a
time.
smear campaign against Yoko, and she is the worst singer in history, by the
She
way.
is terrible, yeah. It's like
It's just
yeah, pretty
screaming.
just screaming.
It's awful.
It's it's art.
Oh,
Art
yeah,
is
sure it is.
subjective.
It's art. Captain William Kidd took his greatest prize in 1698, an Indian merchant ship, Kedah Merchant, and caused a global manhunt for him
Oh
because
wow.
England was so PO'd that they needed to have his head, right? And
Wow.
I mean, a manhunt global then, they weren't gonna find him.
No, right. So many places to hide back then.
Like just in a boat. Because what are they gonna do? Hire Christopher Columbus to find him?
Yeah,
He
really.
couldn't find anything.
Yeah, doesn't know the difference between
He
east and
couldn't
west.
even make it to India.
No.
All right. So, in the last one, Around the World in 80 Days, Jules Verne was
Oh wow.
published in France.
That's a great book. That's cool. So kind of a busy day in history.
Oh yeah, there was so many. I'm like, oh my god, I don't have enough paper to write them all down.
Well, good thing that this isn't your top 5 since you already had a hard
Yes,
enough time top
yeah.
fiving today, which I'm excited about.
Oh yeah, you're gonna love this one.
I can't wait.
Penny,
Well,
not so
roll
much.
no, Kenny's gonna hate it. Kenny hates everything except for Prince and Whitney Houston and uh, Dolly Parton.
And the Clintons.
Oh, loves the Clintons for sure. Yeah, forgot about that. All right, let's move along here. 15 American products that are banned in Canada. This will be very interesting. You're an American, I'm a Canadian. Let's see if this
I
rings
can't
true
wait for
for us.
this.
Now, Canada is not super strict when it comes to products and stuff. Like the comparison between something Canadian and something British, for example, or something in Europe, like ingredients list. I mean, Canada's disgusting. England is has higher standards. However, America is right at the bottom of that piss bucket as far as
Yeah,
what
there's
it
no
allows.
standards. No
No,
standards.
unfortunately. So let's get into it. Okay, the first one is bovine growth hormone. So, known as RBST, is used in the US dairy industry to increase milk production. We've banned it since 1999 due to animal welfare concerns. It also is worried about the hormone effects on a cow's health, including its risk of mastitis and lameness. I mean, it's okay if they're lame. Do they even let these cows walk around anyway? Terrible. That one makes me sad. I can't stick on that one. We've already had a bad morning here, okay? This one shocked me. Mountain Dew in the original formula. We have Mountain Dew. We definitely have Mountain Dew, so it must have been some sort of revision, I guess.
Yeah,
It says the reason for the ban is the use of brominated vegetable oil as an emulsifier. That's pretty gross. I
yeah.
don't want any vegetable oil in my
What is
pop
that?
tarts.
It keeps everything mixed.
I know it's on the list, so I guess we'll find out more about it. This one is funny. Lawn darts, a popular backyard game. In
Yeah.
88, US banned them after they caused injuries and death, and then Canada followed in 89. But if the states banned it, then why is it saying that they're American and they're
I
banned?
don't
So I don't know.
look, it's a horrible thing to even ban that. It's stupidity. Look,
Why
you
don't
don't
they
throw them
ban
at each
regular?
other. They're
What,
lawn
like,
darts. It's just like this tube and it sticks into the dirt,
right?
you know? And it was
Is
such
that
a great
different?
game.
Is that different than wall darts?
Yes,
Like, could
yes.
you not? I know, but could you not throw that at someone and stab them?
Right, you can. And that would probably be worse
Hmm. Weird.
because that's going to actually stick in. The lawn darts aren't going to stick in a human. It's not going
Mm,
to penetrate.
right. Weird.
Not happening. I mean, it's just stupid. It was such a great game, and then they made it so it had this little round thing, so it was like a Weeble, and it ruined the game. It ruined it.
Well, I think right to the makers of, I don't know, Milton Bradley or whatever who created it and tell them it's been 32 years, 38 years,
Yeah,
whatever it's been. I demand to have it
because
back.
it was like horseshoes, but with darts.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know it. That's fun. I've only played the kind with beer cans. You like throw it at the beer, and if you puncture it, you gotta that
Hmm.
game. Yeah,
Well,
fun.
that would make you want to hit it,
Exactly.
as long as it's a good beer.
True.
Like I could do Molson. I could do that.
Hmm. Is that Canadian? Yeah, mostly
Yeah,
Canadian.
yeah.
Right. It's a stronger beer for American beers. It's stronger. Not
It's
really
just
that strong
better.
though.
Like the ugh.
Yeah, is it? See, I'm actually not a beer drinker. If I'm chugging, then maybe a different story. But yeah. All right. Getting right into this. Some food dyes. So yeah, we definitely still have food dyes in our food. It's not nearly as bad as the states. These are things like yellow number 5 and red number 40. They have serious effects on children's behavior. All right, brominated vegetable oil, like we said. It's found in citrus flavored sodas in the US. Canada has restricted it due to health concerns, although it's not totally banned, but only permitted in certain drinks containing citrus or spruce oils. It's linked to this one is mind blowing memory loss and skin problems. Sorry, it causes
Hmm.
memory loss, and we're just drinking it. We're just chugging down our Mountain Dews like it's nothing. I don't know. I don't get it. The next one is baby walkers. So that's like where they sit in it and then they can walk around.
Yeah.
Uh, those have been banned here.
Why?
They were banned actually quite a while ago because I didn't even have them when I had kids because of kids falling down the stairs, things like that.
Why?
Because parents are dumb. They just sit on their phone, they don't pay attention, and then the kid goes to the stairs and then he falls all the way down the stairs in his walker.
That's what they make baby gates for.
Yeah, but parents are dumb, as we know. We've learned today.
Well, yeah, that is true.
Mhm.
Dumb and lazy.
Okay, this one, dumb and lazy. Certain weapons and self-defense items. Now, we know this, our gun culture is nowhere near where the States is. Our fearless leader, Justin Trudeau, has put a ban on all kinds of things, and he just continues to nilly-willy decide what's going to be banned. We do have a lot of gun enthusiasts for sure, especially where I live. It's a more rural, we have a lot of farmers and blue collar and things like that. So there is a lot of hunting and he tries to ban them. But anyway, it says that these include other things as well, like pepper spray, tasers, certain kinds of knives, stricter about weapons in general. So interesting. Yeah, like if you want to hurt a Canadian, you could because we are not armed at all, or we don't defend ourselves.
There might be other reasons why you can hurt a Canadian too. Take away their ice.
Yeah, I do my best work on ice.
They can't play hockey anymore.
Yeah, that's right. We just get everywhere on
Take
skates. We
away
don't
the
have
sticks
cars.
and puck.
That's right. I actually can't skate, but you know, it's bred into us. All right, unpasteurized milk products. Now, I would like unpasteurized milk, being the crunchy mom that I am. We definitely cannot buy it here. It is illegal to buy unpasteurized milk in Canada.
Okay.
Big trouble. Big trouble. Some formaldehyde releasing preservatives. So it makes me wonder why American products are allowed to have it, but it says that US cosmetics are allowed but banned in Canada. Our rules are stricter about potentially harmful ingredients in personal care products. This means that some American products can't be sold in Canada without some changes made to them. Like, don't get me wrong, we still have a lot of crap. Okay. Like, most of our stuff is trash in Canada. We have a lot of the same epidemics in Canada, like obesity, like diabetes, like heart disease, like cancer. Okay. So it's not at all to say that, we're way better because we've banned brominated vegetable oil. No, we're not. We just found some other disgusting thing to put in our food.
It's
Okay.
all the
Trans
same.
fats. Yeah, exactly. Trans fats, it says US has recently taken steps to reduce trans fats, but Canada has a stricter ban. Our rules don't allow any artificial trans fats in foods, which affects processed foods and baked goods from the US. It's
Mm.
interesting. So on our imports, I mean, if Canada and US doesn't get their tariffs and their import export situation figured out, I guess we'll just be making all our own food here, which is probably okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Donald is going to tackle everything. So,
Mhm. I don't know what this is. It says it's cetyl myristoyate. It's a supplement sold in the US for joint health. It's not an approved health product. Now, fun fact again, fearless leader has decided that he doesn't like the natural industry for supplementation and things like that. Keep in mind, Crunchy Mom, I take a lot of supplements. You bring them in from the States. Trudeau has put a ban on a lot of these things. There's one product that I buy, it's made out of Alberta bison. So, where I'm from, it literally has to go and be processed in Florida and shipped back to me, even though it's from the same place that I'm from. Is that terrible?
what I got a joke considering what did the buffalo say to his kid?
Oh no, what?
Bye, son.
Stop it. Stop it. Hilarious. That's funny. Okay, I've got four more. Sassafras oil. I've never even heard of this. Used in traditional medicine and foods, banned in Canada. It contains saffrol, which Canada considers a cancer risk. The US does not consider it a cancer risk. Drink
Oh, of
away,
course not.
friends.
No.
Certain antibacterial soaps. So they're common in the US. Some of them are not allowed in Canada. They worry about the long term effects of certain antibacterial chemicals, like basically your body gets immune to it and then it no longer can fight these. Like they say that any antibacterial soap you should not be using because your body
So
learns.
so if you don't use it, you get the bacteria. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, I think just regular soap does the trick. They're trying to like zhuzh up something that already works in its
Yeah.
own right.
Well,
That's how
that's what
these
they do.
superbugs are created. Yeah, they do, of course. Zantac. I think that's allergies, right? Zantac?
Oh,
Says it was
Zantac.
recalled in both countries, although Canada's ban is stricter. Canada doesn't allow any form of ranitidine, the main ingredient in Zantac. The US still allows some versions. Interesting.
Yeah,
For some
because
fortified
the
foods. Oh,
the pharmaceuticals have, well, they own part of the government.
yeah, of
We'll
course they
just say
do.
that.
Of course they do. Terrible. Well, don't even get me started, Ron. I have a tight timeline today. Don't get me started. All right, finally, the last one is some fortified foods. The US allows more types of fortified foods than Canada does. Canada has stricter rules about adding vitamins and minerals. I don't know if you've seen any articles or posts or whatever come up on social media. They take American Fruit Loops and Canadian Fruit Loops and they combine them. The colors are different, the flavors are different, the ingredients are different. So it's interesting. You might as well just
Yeah.
dump a bunch of sugar in a bowl and add some milk to it, and then you drink it in the States and
Well,
Canada.
you'd be surprised. Like, Fruit Loops has cut down on the sugar,
I think they
and
had
it's not
to.
as good. It's
Yeah,
not
well,
as
apparently
good.
they taste different, so I don't know. Maybe I'll send you
Yeah,
a pack from here and you can compare them on air.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know. I haven't tried it down in the States, so I really don't know. But the color is definitely different when you see videos of it. Okay, moving right along. Oh, is it me again? What do you know? Okay, we've been trying to get to this article for I feel like weeks now, and it just hasn't been happening. Whether I picked something else, we haven't gone on, I was sick, whatever. Vibrio vulnificus. This is a very interesting thing that is not new, not uncommon. It is a bacteria and it's gross. I'm going to start with a story.
Yeah, it does
There
sound
was a
gross.
Yeah, it does sound gross. There was a YouTuber named Billy LeBlanc. He woke up recently. This was just this past summer. He woke up in an ICU where he'd actually discovered that his partner, a girl named Natalie Clark, had died. They had both contracted this deadly virus called Vibrio vulnificus after consuming, and this makes me so sad, oysters contaminated with the bacteria. Now, you're from an ocean lying area. Are
Yeah,
you an oyster fan? I feel like you're a picky eater.
I love seafood. I don't eat oysters.
Okay. I like them with some hot sauce, some lemon juice, some salt. I find them quite tasty. But I don't know. I'm a little after reading this article and a few other articles, I don't know if I'm going to do it anymore.
Well,
Especially like we're in Alberta. There's no ocean near me. It's not like they're
I
fresh.
live near Newport, Rhode
Hmm.
Island,
Hmm.
and they have like a raw bar.
Hmm.
I don't know if it's still there. I
We
haven't
have raw
been
bars
in
here.
years, but I imagine now after hearing this, I will never go to the raw bar again.
Yeah, really. Honestly. I can't. My husband's allergic to everything, so it's like I want to go to a raw bar fancy on a date. Those ships have sailed, which is fine because I don't want to have a date and end up in ICU after. Like I think I might I might be over that. So it says that this Billy fellow explains to his followers that we ate oysters. We both felt sick for a couple days, and then I woke up and she was gone. He spent 12 days in the hospital with this girl, Natalie,
Oh my
because,
god.
like I said, he had also contracted this deadly virus. 8 of those days were spent receiving intensive care, which he did recover from. Wild. But like she didn't make it from this. She literally just ate some food with her boyfriend. They were like, "Oh, I don't feel good." They probably thought they had the flu for a couple days. They probably passed out and then he woke up and she never did. Isn't this wild?
That is
Yeah.
it just goes to show you how fragile life can be, right? I
Oh,
mean, you're
really?
just going out, you're having something to eat, and then next thing you know it,
Dead. Right.
we haven't
Yeah.
had very nice stories today.
No, this is a terrible day.
Like
It
death,
said,
dismay,
right.
assault.
A crappy singer.
Hey, hey, hey,
At least
hey.
there's been some
He's not a
comedy.
crappy. He's
Boom,
he's
boom.
fantastic.
Yeah. So, anyways, the most Vibrio vulnificus infections are caused by eating raw or undercooked shellfish. So, that
Yeah.
doesn't just include oysters, but especially oysters. It is concerning as well because you can't actually tell if the seafood is contaminated because there's no change to smell or taste. So,
No.
that's terrifying. You're literally Russian rouletting every time you're
Yeah.
eating some
Yeah, I
sort of
don't
raw
I don't want
oyster.
raw anything anymore.
I mean, I love sashimi, I love raw tuna, I'll eat the salmon as well. It's good, but I don't like to think about what is
It's got to
inside
be
of them,
cooked.
like little
Got to be
wormies and
cooked.
stuff. Yeah. So after eating, or sorry, as well as eating the contaminated food, it can also be spread if cuts or like little grazes on the skin are exposed to contaminated water. So if you like put your hand in water and you had a cut and the bacteria was nearby, you'll also get it. So,
Oh my
so
god.
now just being in the ocean is not safe at all.
Yeah, I mean, I remember a time where, you'd be walking on the beach, you cut your foot with a seashell, and my mom
Hmm.
would say, "Go in the salt water, that'll make it feel better."
Hmm. I mean, maybe temporarily. It would numb it. I think salt water is very healing.
Yeah.
However, if there's bacteria in
Well,
there,
yeah,
that is
so
this one.
it just goes to show how times have changed.
Yeah, really. It says that this is not, well, I mean, it is rare, but there's still 100 cases in the US every year. Now, not everyone dies. I think if they're found in time, they do live, but 100 cases every year in the States. So that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
There is a fellow named Scott O'Sullivan. He's a lawyer who calls himself the oyster lawyer due to the fact that he deals exclusively with lawsuits regarding contaminated seafood. Now, that must be a very niche market. There must be a call for him or a demand for him if he
I
can
guess.
exclusively work on this. He made a video back in 2015 warning everyone that the bacteria is the number one seafood borne illness in America. If you're
Yeah.
lucky enough to eat an oyster with it, you won't even know. Oh, sorry, if you're unlucky, not lucky. If you're unlucky enough to eat an oyster with it, you won't even know or taste or smell it. But if it gets into your bloodstream, you've got a 50% chance of dying. And if you live, you could lose your legs. Oh my God.
Oh man, come on, you're making me not want to have seafood anymore.
I
And I
know.
love seafood.
I know. It says the reason for this is that oysters are filter feeders. That means that only bacteria and viruses they come into contact with in the water can be concentrated within the body of the oyster. Bacteria like Vibrio vulnificus lives naturally in coastal waters, and oysters that feed in water with high concentration of those bacteria are likely to be infectious to humans if consumed raw.
Oh my god. Well,
So,
you ain't catching me in the ocean anytime soon. Let's just put it that
like,
way.
I think it's safe to say that we're not eating oysters anymore. But like, look how pretty this picture is. Oh, I just thought it was so nice. And I
It's
was like, man, I should
gross.
go get some oysters. No, I shouldn't. After rereading it, no, absolutely not. I know. Gross. But you know what time it is? It's top five time. Oh, yes. This is going to be
So
tough. Do not disappoint. I'll be saying disrespectful.
I had I had a really difficult time choosing because there was Gene Hackman, Christian Bale, and Phil Collins. All their birthdays today.
Oh, no way.
So I had a tough time, but I was like, okay, I'm on with Becky. I'm
Phil
gonna
is my
do Phil
boy.
Collins,
You
right?
know I love Phil more than anything.
Phil Collins has some incredible songs. Let me
Oh,
tell you,
so
I had
good.
a difficult time with this.
So you can't quantify a top 5. It's
No,
impossible.
you can't because I also added Genesis in with it.
Yeah, of course, which just completely broadens your reach.
So quickly, these songs are not on my list.
Okay.
Groovy Kind of Love,
Oh, great song.
One More Night,
Oh, great song.
You Can't Hurry Love, I Don't Care Anymore, Don't Lose My
I
Number,
don't care
Separate
anymore.
Lives, Two Hearts,
These
Man
didn't
on the
make your
corner,
list.
abacab, that's all. Throwing it all away, no reply at all. I can't dance.
I'm sorry, That's All is not on your list. That's my number one of all time.
That's all?
Yeah, it's my
Yeah, not
number
on my
one.
list.
Okay,
Turn
that's
It On
classic.
Again. I love that song. That was the first song by
Mhm.
Genesis I ever heard, and I loved it. Not on my list.
Wow. I mean, the list just goes on, because there's that many good ones. So I'm
Yeah,
very interested to
this
see.
is. I mean, I knew what number one was going to be.
Doom, 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 doom. Sorry.
So my honorable mentions. Another Day in Paradise.
Do, do, do,
That would have been
do,
number
do,
10.
do, do, do. Yeah, great song.
The next honorable mention, In Too Deep. Love that song. It's a great ballad. Oh, wait, no,
Thank you,
no, no, no,
Ira.
no. That's not it. That's not it. I was reading the wrong one. Land of Confusion.
Oh, great song. I
I thought that was
also
going to be my number two.
I also like the Disturbed version of Land of Confusion.
That video was pretty awesome.
Everything about it is awesome.
I love that song. Next honorable mention is Illegal Alien, which is
Okay.
very, very in tune for
Very,
today's
very
world.
current.
Yes.
Very on point, on trend.
But I love that song.
Hmm.
It's just a silly song. Also, Easy Lover.
With Philip Bailey.
Yeah, Philip Bailey. I think it's just such a catchy song. I love it.
So good. I know I had it on the other day. I stopped at KFC, Taco Bell, with my child, and I got in the car and I was like, oh, nice. And I was like, listen to this. This is music today, not this junk you listen to that. That's how all music sounds now. I'm like,
Yeah,
listen to this. And my kid's like, this sucks, mom. Like, okay. Okay.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
And my bubble song, I Wish It Would Rain Down.
Mm, so good.
That was the bubble song.
Wish it would
I was trying
rain
to decide between a couple of
on me.
songs, and that didn't make it. My number five, Invisible Touch.
Mhm.
Such a catchy song. I love it. You know, Genesis back in the day. That is number five. Is Kenny there saying
He's not
disrespectful?
here. No, absolutely not.
He's probably working.
He probably doesn't even know who Phil Collins is.
Oh, he does. He does.
I know he's got a good taste,
Number
usually.
four is In Too Deep. I was
Yeah.
like looking at the wrong thing, and I'm like, wait, I thought I had that in my top five.
Or like a 9, okay.
I love the ballad. That ballad is so good. Number three. Hey, I don't know if there's a person on this planet that even knows what this song means. Sue Studio.
Yeah, literally.
Ira says he absolutely loves I Wish It Would Rain Down. Yeah,
So good.
look, I had a tough time with this. I
Mhm.
thought it was going to be a little easier. No, this was not easy. This was more difficult than doing Loverboy.
Yeah, Canadian classic band.
Yeah. This was tough. So number two, I have Against All Odds.
Yes. So good. So good.
Great song, right?
So good.
Great song.
Like when he's like, "I wish that you just turn around," and I'm like
Kyle
every time I
Kravitz
hear
is
it.
watching also. Thank you,
Ah, hi,
Kyle.
Kyle.
Kyle, Ira, and Hugo all in the house. Kenny was briefly probably looked on his phone at work.
Kenny,
Put
you've
the
let us
phone
down
away at
today.
work, Kenny.
Yeah, right? Oh, it's about
It's
time,
all
Ron.
about time.
Kenny's here. Okay.
All right, so
Song
number
number
one,
1.
of course, that goes without saying. It has the best drum solo in the history of music, and that is In the Air Tonight.
That's good. That's a tough list.
Ira says Sue Studio kind of sucks. Sue
I mean, it's
Audio
just a
sucks.
weird song because like you
It
don't know
is,
what you're
but it's
singing
so
about.
fun. I love it. I love the music. I love it. You know how everything. I don't know what it means. what the hell is a Studio? But it
Yeah,
was
right.
good enough to make my top 5.
Yeah, right?
But I
Clearly.
mean, like I'm looking at all these songs. I mean, I've got, I don't know, like 30 songs on this list that I wrote down. They're
Mhm,
all good. Genesis and Phil Collins were
mhm.
fantastic.
So good.
Fantastic. I
I am
didn't
looking
call
at a
him Phil the
list.
Overkill for nothing because he was always on the radio.
Is the best. That's why. I'm looking at a list here of his songs. Obviously, Against All Odds would be on my top 5. That's all, like, literally is my number 1 always.
Ira,
Let's
don't
see what
be
else here.
disrespectful.
I would don't be disrespectful. Gosh, Land of Confusion, you're right. Such a
I
good
love
one.
that
I
song.
Can't Dance. I think I Can't Dance is probably one of the first ones I remember. I remember being in this kid's basement and his dad brought my dad downstairs and was like, I have to show you this new Genesis music video. And I just remember that.
Like Tonight,
Okay,
Tonight, Tonight is also a fantastic song.
right,
It's just,
right. I know. Genesis, like, just so good. I definitely prefer Genesis once Peter Gabriel left and it was Phil Collins. Um, But yeah, like I'm just looking at their stuff here. Oh, Jesus, He Knows Me. That's a catchy song too.
yeah.
Really good. You know
Look,
what? Looking at your list, like No Son of Mine, you missed that one too. That's another great song. Like the
yes,
list goes on.
yes. Like, yeah,
Phil.
and it's like I'm looking at all these songs and I'm like, oh my god, how am I going to choose? I literally had
Yeah.
to stop after I did the first two and then put it down for a while and then had to come back to it. I mean, it was
Yeah.
that tough.
Yeah. So good. Well, that was a great list. I'm glad nothing of it. Yeah, great drummer. You were right. And sad fact, he can't drum now. I mean, he's an old man, but like
Yeah,
he's got some disease that makes it so he can't even hold the sticks anymore. So I know that he was touring not a few years ago, but he's just too sick to do it now, which is heartbreaking.
yeah.
Too sad.
Yeah, it is. It's a great musician. He's another guy that can play like a bunch of instruments,
Yeah,
and you gotta
very
like
talented.
those. I like those musicians for that fact.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah,
why
I agree.
I like Phil Collins. I like Prince, and I like Bruno Mars because they play
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the chances of you being well versed in different musical genres and things like that is probably a testament to why you're famous now.
Yeah,
But anyways, great show today. A downer, but it ended on a high note for
it
me.
did. It
So
did.
thank you for ending it that way, knowing that I would love it. That's how thoughtful. You picked a Phil Collins for me. I picked a Prince for you.
Yeah, it is funny how that worked out.
Yeah, totally. Well, join us again. What day is it today? Thursday. Join us Saturday for Kenny and Ron. Kenny, I'd love to hear your version of this list since you think ours is disrespectful. Monday, I am back. We need to figure out with who. Martin is on holidays, but we will figure it out. But check
Oh,
us out
Martin's.
next week.
Oh,
We'll figure it out. We'll be here next week. You may end up seeing more of me and Ron. Who knows? But
could be.
thank you for
Could be.
joining us and check us out Saturday. Bye,
Have
guys.
a great day, everybody.